Hey guys, I'm Sandy, and in this video I'm going to try and explain why I ask people to wait at least 3 months after someone has passed before I will read them. Okay, so this is a question I get asked in every phone call, I think. How long after someone has passed should I wait before I get a reading? Okay. So the simple answer to that is that there's no hard and fast rule, okay? There's lots of variables in readings. But I would always say to somebody, leave at least 3 months, okay? So there's a few reasons for this, okay? One is that we have to allow them to build back up energy. Okay, so regardless of how someone passed, someone may have been ill here on earth and they deteriorated over a period of time and eventually passed over. Okay, well, that person has used up all their energy fighting illness while they were here on earth. And, when they cross over, they don't have any energy left. So they're going to need to build back up those energy levels again. Okay, and equally with someone who has passed over very suddenly, they might be in the prime of their life and they just left like that. Okay, well, they're in shock when they cross over. And invariably when they wake up in the spirit world, they will be, perhaps appear in a hospital environment for them, okay? They will always wake up where they would expect to. So if there's been an accident or, maybe they had a sudden heart attack or something, they're going to expect to wake up in a hospital. So they will see that environment when they wake in the spirit world, to reduce the amount of shock that they go into. But anyway, they will be in shock. And they will have to deal with that before they're ready to give you the comfort you need, okay? So they would also equally need time. Okay, and as well as that, they've been plucked out of this world, dropped somewhere completely strange and alien to them, okay? They're faced probably with angels and spirit guides, people that they don't recognize. They will of course meet their family as well. They will be always greeted by somebody, but they also have to spend time with their guides, and they will have to go through what happened with them here on earth, what they did that was amazing, what they could have done, what they should have done. So all of this process has to happen, but they also need to learn to communicate in a different way, because they don't have the physical body anymore, so they don't have the voice box and the voice to speak. They communicate in very different ways in the spirit world, so they will have to learn to do that as well before they're ready to communicate with you. But the biggest and the most main reason why I would ask people to wait those 3 months is grief. We have to allow the grieving process to take place. And your medium, unless you have a medium that has been trained as a grief counsellor, which is totally, there are mediums out there that have been. But for me and some other mediums, we're not grief counsellors, okay? And we would leave that job to the professionals. So if you feel that you haven't grieved, if you feel that, you haven't yet accepted the passing, I don't believe that that's the right time to go for a medium reading. Okay, as mediums, we provide evidence of the spirit world. So we're going to talk about, who we can feel around you. Okay, so we never want you to tell us who you're looking to communicate with. We're going to tell you who we feel around you and tell you things about them. And they will in turn tell you things, about themselves, their life, their memories with you, things that, I wouldn't have known, and also things that have happened since their passing. Okay, so we have to allow this grieving process to take place, but it's not, the medium reading isn't to heal your grief. It's to provide evidence that they live on. And this can throw up a lot of emotion. And if you haven't dealt with your grief properly, well, it could put you right back to step one. And, we talk a lot about our grief and the grieving process here on earth. But what about your loved one in spirit? Okay, so you've lost them. Their other family members have lost them. Their friends have lost them. Their work colleagues have lost them. The wider community have lost them. And you're all grieving for that one person. But don't for 1 minute think that that person isn't over in the spirit world grieving for you, for the rest of the family, for their friends, for their work colleagues, for their community, for their career, for their life, for the future that they thought they'd have. They have to grieve as well, and we have to give them time to go through that process. So I always suggest waiting 3 months at least. You might feel you need longer to deal with your grief, and that's fine. but I would never read anybody unless they've had those 3 months to deal with the passing and to come to terms, both you to come to terms with the fact that your loved one isn't coming back, and for your loved one to come to terms with the fact that they're not coming back here. Okay, so it is a process and you should always give yourself time. Now that said, I can never tell you when the time is right for a reading. You have to tell me, okay? You have to read yourself, know your energy, and tell your medium that you're ready for a reading. Personally, I wouldn't read you if it's less than 3 months. After that, it's up to you to tell me. And that's why, you know, if you're buying a gift certificate for a loved one, I always say, you know, talk to them about whether or not they want a reading. Do they believe in it? Are they ready for it? It's a very personal thing. Okay, so always think about where you are here on earth in your grieving process, and also where your loved one in spirit may be with their grieving process. I hope that makes sense. If you've any further questions, please drop them below and I will answer as many as I can. Take care, guys. I'll see you in the next video.